It's an interesting thing because most methods of manifestation are taught in an external way, right? So go ahead and drop like the ways you've used to manifest before, the methods you've used to manifest before. Some people earlier said things like scripting and journaling. There's quantum leaping. There's so many manifesting methods. Like, I'm always hearing about new manifesting methods, but really what I'm hearing is like the same regurgitated thing in a new package. But drop below like the manifesting methods that you've used. And we're going to talk about how they're all kind of external to you. And you've been primarily taught that manifesting occurs outside of yourself, right? I know I have. I know when I did this before, when I was following the law of attraction and it quit working for me for 8 years, everything was outside of myself, right? So there are things like the 2-cup method, and that essentially means that like you trigger the universe to give you something, right? You have 2 cups and you drink out of it after you switch it and infuse it with energy. There's visualization, which is essentially like going to your future self that is at some point outside of yourself and creating that life there that you want, but then you still have to figure out how to bring it into this body and this life that you have. There is scripting, where you are literally taking a future event and your future person and merging them, much like visualization, but on paper. And none of these are connected to you internally. They're all like outside of you in the future. There's acting as if, right? Acting as if is like my favorite one, and not in a good way, because acting as if, I don't know if I should share this. Acting as if literally trains your brain to create a false positive, right? So when you act as if, your brain thinks you already have it, and that is internal, but it doesn't create the external effect that you want. And here's the thing I want to share about acting as if. And I don't think any of the gurus are going to tell you this. Now, I'm not bragging, but I'm going to share some things that I've manifested. But primarily with money, this works. So here's the interesting thing that nobody is really telling you. Acting as if with money. I have created a 7-figure business that I walked away with. I created 7 figures several times over in my 20s. I've had a $200,000 day. I've had 146K cash weeks. I have had, I've had so many things. So many things. I've had consistent 30, 50, 60K months, right? I have created the ability to receive a lot of money. And here is the thing that blew my mind that no one is teaching, is when you manifest a huge amount of money, which, it's not a huge amount of money. I'm not saying I've manifested a huge amount of money, but 200,000 in a day is pretty significant, right? It's all relative. So, if I was a billionaire, that'd be nothing. But I didn't feel any different. I still felt like me. I was still me. It was like I still had my same likes, my same dislikes, my same like crankiness, my same happiness. Nothing changed. So this acting as if you've never had it, how do you even act as if? And when I got married, right? Like I was still me. I'm still me. So this acting as if, like you get into this act and you kind of play this character, but at the same time, it just creates a false positive in your brain that you already have it. So you kind of don't need it. But that's not actually what you want. So, and look, maybe you disagree. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think, because I've talked to like hundreds of women who have all agreed with me, but it doesn't change, right? Like we think it's going to like all of a sudden will feel different, but if you've never had $200,000 in a day, how do you know what you're going to feel like? And spoiler alert, you feel happy, you feel excited, but you feel like you. You're like, yeah, that was great. But, I still felt like me. So I just thought I would share that. All right. So, but here's the thing that every guru ever has said. And let me know if you agree. Let me know if you've heard this. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. They all tell us that everything you need to manifest anything you want is inside of you. Right? Right. But they don't tell you how to do it. This was my major thing. Like I struggled with this, like what the F so hard. I can't even tell you. I was like, what are they thinking that this is the case? Because for a long time, I couldn't find it in me and I didn't know what they were talking about. and they don't teach it. So that's what we're going to learn today. Are you excited? I mean, I'm excited. Are you excited? Come on, you can tell me. Yes, I love it. All right, well, I figured it out and I'm here to share it. So like, I'm spilling the tea because that's what I do. So for me to share this, we kind of have to go back to the beginning, not back to the definition of manifesting, but the how of actually how manifesting works. And this is probably something that, like, if you're like me, you kind of wanted to know for a long time. So manifesting actually works because you have a knower system. I call this the K3 method, and I go in depth in the class. We can get you access to that. You can reach out to me. My team's going to make this available. We had a bit of a problem getting it out. But anyway, it's really just a truth system, and you all have that. Right now, you have access to that, and we're going to go through it. So I'm just going to show you how to use this. And I say all the time, I don't want you to take my word for something when I'm teaching it. I want you to use your own truth system, your own knower system. So here goes. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to put your feet flat on the floor. All right. You're going to take 3 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. And just make sure your back is comfortably straight, right? Like, we got to get the energy, has to be able to flow. And all we're doing when we take these 3 breaths is letting go of everything and tuning into ourselves. All right. So I have some questions here, and I'm going to just recap how this goes. You can open your eyes, you can be present. And if you need to, if you need more clarity, if you need to tune into yourself deeper, you can just close your eyes and go within, right? So this is how this works. You have your own knower system. Your own knower system is your third eye or your mind, right? Like, if you're not woo, if you don't know where your third eye is, if you feel like your third eye is not on, don't worry about it. Use your mind. Use your mind. Your heart, right? We all know where the heart is. And then our gut. We've all got that gut feeling before. Drop gut in the comment if you have got that gut feeling before. Yes, we've all had that gut feeling. We listen to it sometimes and we're really happy, or we wish we had listened to it and we're not really happy. All right, you're good. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions, and you're going to tune in, and you're going to get feelings. Now, these feelings will be visceral. You'll get, like, you know, a crunchy feeling, or sometimes sometimes I sweat, like, because it's so much truth, right? So there's all kinds of things that'll come through, and you'll get to know your system the more you use it. So I'm going to start by asking you a question, and you tune in and you just put the answers right there in the comments. All right. So you are meant to have some of the things that you desire, but not all of them. Put that through your truth system. I absolutely love this. I love this. Okay. Just feel that. It's just taking a moment to let that sink through you and process through you. I love it. Okay. Next one. I am showing you the K3 method, the knowing truth system method. And it works for you for more than just making sure I'm telling the truth. So does this system work for you for more than just knowing, like, am I being truthful with you? Is this really how it works, right? And just feel that, right? I mean, you just answered a different question with it, so it should ping pretty quickly. All right, and the third question is, this is part of manifesting, and you are meant to use this system for yourself in many ways. Let me know what you think. Awesome. Okay, wrapping it up. Now, feel that, right? It feels so good. And this is meant for you to know. Now, obviously, you know, in manifesting, it's a whole nother thing, and you can get that class. But good. Now that we have that out of the way with, I want you to notice something. Did anyone pick up on it? This is an internal truth system. It's not external. It's internal. All right? It's like, I know. All right, so the next thing I want to share with you is that you are powerful, right? You are powerful. Remember, I teach manifesting from a space of power. We bring you up to a space of power. Wherever you are in the world, we raise you up to a space of power so that you know your truth. So you're not in struggle, you're not in lack, you're not in that like energy that's going to be denser and make it more difficult. So God has told me many, many times how powerful, how truly powerful we are. And if we could ever figure out how powerful we are, like it would blow our minds. And I've got to tell you, I will share a story on the next class, but I've got to tell you some of the things that I've experienced. It has literally knocked me on my butt when I'm like, it scares me, like the amount of power. And I'll tell you the stories. It's crazy, but, and that is internal power, right? Power is internal. You don't feel power outside of yourself. You don't feel power. I mean, if you're lifting weights, you feel power, but the power still comes from within, right? Everything you do, think of it, every instance and every way that you experience when you feel powerful, it's all internal. And that's precisely what the gurus meant when they said it is all within you. They just aren't naming it. And I will tell you, if you can figure out why else do you need them, right? But here is, I said it earlier, we're circling back to it, back to the how of manifesting. Here is how manifesting works. So as you unlock more truth in your body, your own truth, more truth of your K3 system, your K3 method, you get access to more power. Feel that. Feel that in your truth system. And as you get access to more power, that leads to greater levels of truth. This is like an upward spiral system, okay? And then as you unlock even greater levels of truth, you get access to even more power, and up and up and up and up and up it goes, right? And this is why when you manifest using your own system, your own internal system, not the cookie cutter systems that the gurus are pitching out there, it upgrades with you. So what does that mean? It means you won't stall out, you won't plateau, you won't get stuck. It means that you can keep using the same system to keep going and going and going, right? You keep expanding like the universe because this is using your own energy. It's working with your own manifesting abilities. And there is no going to search for new information to make it work because your system upgrades with you, because you are working with your own specific energy. And this is what the gurus would have never taught, because they aren't going to share how to unlock your power and truth, because then what? Well, then you don't need them, right? But as long as you have a cookie cutter method that only works for some of the people, some of the time. Anyway, let me show you, right? So when you are working with specific energies, like when you're getting super specific here, everything has its own specific like codes, right? Like frequency, vibration, whatever, however you want to refer to it, everything is specific. So you have your own unique energy, right? Right. Like you've lived this life in your unique way. No one has lived this life the same way you have, with the certain feelings that you've experienced, the certain moments that you've experienced, with the parents, with the events, with all of it, right? It's all kind of as unique as your DNA. And no one actually wants the same things for exactly the same reasons. So nobody, like no two women who have had the same experience, which is impossible, ever really want to get married for the same exact reasons. Someone to get married because they want to have a family, someone to get married because they want to be loved, someone to get married because they believe it's the right thing to do, right? So like there's just reasons for getting married, but it goes so much deeper. So we all want things for different reasons. And because how we feel about things and the life we have all individually lived is so different, that means we need things that are more specific than the cookie cutter methods of acting as if, or scripting, or journaling. Those aren't specific enough. And there are no methods out there that are being taught to you that are specific enough, because they're not working with your energy. They're working with like a one size fits all thing. And that, you know, well, we all know. Now here's where it gets complicated, but simple. All right. You're a unique being with your own energy and the events and feelings and emotions. So it only makes sense that you have your own unique operating system, just like you have your own unique DNA, just like you have your own unique fingerprints, just like you have your own unique experiences in life, right? It's very unique to you. And the desires that you have for the car, the house, the promotion, the marriage, all of those things have their own frequency. Water. They all have their own frequency. And if you can tap into that frequency, you have the ability to manifest it into your life. Now, here's where they don't teach you what the frequency of the thing is. They say, just, be the frequency of money. Like, no, money is inert. Money has no energy, but that's another story, right? It's not like that. The frequency of what you want is very specific. But because you are a unique person, the physical thing that you want to manifest is so specific in the way you want it. So you have your unique energy, you have the unique energy of the object you want, and then you have the energy between the two of them, which is like what makes it so specific to you. Does that make sense? I know that's a little out there. So some people might want the car because they think it's a safe car or it's good for the wife and kids. Other people might want it because they think it's good value, and still other people might want it for the gas mileage. These are all the different things. So like that is the space between wanting the car and you, right? Everyone has different things there. And this is where it gets really specific for manifesting. And if you want a car, you want a specific car with specific upgrades at a certain price, in a certain color, from a certain dealer. It all has to be right. It all has to be exactly how you want. We're talking about very specific things here. Very specific things for what you're manifesting. Very specific things for how you feel about it. Very specific things for why you want it. All of these have to be taken into account. And they're not being taken into account the way manifesting is currently being taught. So are you starting to see just how specific and different it is to manifest at a higher level, and why the cookie cutter way of manifesting and why the methods that you've taught to manifest only work some of the time for some of the people, for some of the things? They're not being specific enough. So you have specific reasons for wanting it, and you have specific things that you require from it, and you have specific desires that you want it to meet. That's very specific. So when you use a specific way of manifesting, I know, can I space? Like, I think we should just drink every time I say specific. We would be out. I would be out. Anyway, when you use a specific way of manifesting a specific thing, you remove all resistance to it showing up. You take power over the manifesting process. You are tapped into and tuned up with the codes of what it takes to manifest, because you have unlocked a level of power that brings the manifestation into your reality, because you have unlocked your truth. You have understood at greater and higher levels what it takes to create that, manifest that into your reality. And this is what I teach. And there's more, right? So when you actually are getting so specific, you are tapping into unique manifesting codes and why you want things and how you're going to access your power to bring them into your life. And the item you're manifesting, it has its own specific and unique codes for you to manifest. And so when you know those codes for the thing that you want, and you combine it with your unique manifesting codes, that creates an operating system that allows you to actually create it into your reality. It allows you to become the power that made it manifest in your life. I hope this is making sense. Is this making sense? It's totally different. It's totally out there. I know it's very new information, right? So do you think if you were tapped into your own unique manifesting codes and using your own unique operating system to manifest, do you think you could manifest more predictably and consistently? Let me know below. Like, do you? Does this feel like the thing that has been missing? Put it through your knower system. Don't ever just answer me. Don't ever just take my word for it. I don't want you to do that. I don't. All right, so this is how you manifest internally through truth and power and codes. Everything is inside of you. And when they say everything is within you, it is. Like I've just shown you. So you have to discover and unlock your own unique operating system and your own unique manifesting codes. They work together. And that gives you the power to create everything you desire. This is exactly how I've created everything. The 200K day, the 7-figure business, the 146K weeks, the getting married, going from single to married in 4 months, from having my daughter, from me taking her out of the hospital when the doctor looked me dead ass in the eye and it's like, she's not walking out of this hospital. She's never leaving this hospital alive. Words I will never forget. Anyway, this is the power that I tapped into, my internal power. And that's the process, right? So my clients have used this to create 46K cash, to go from 2 years without selling anything to selling a 36K package. Getting married in less than a year from being single, starting a business, creating clients, selling high level ticket. I've had students literally manifest 6 figures from this using these methods, and many have upgraded their health. They've gotten new cars. They've gotten their dream homes. There is no end. I've had women retire their husbands. Yes, I've had all kinds of things. I love that. So there is no end to what you are able to manifest when you are using specific codes and using them the way they will work, right? Because they are specific and unique. Think of it like it's kind of like your DNA, right? Like I said that earlier, but like it's like using your DNA to manifest versus using a cookie cutter to manifest, because everyone is using the same, like in the methods that are being taught, everyone is using the same method to manifest everything. Everything is a one size fits all for a one size for all. Like that just befuddles me. And I didn't get results with that. And I don't see a lot of people getting the consistent and predictable results with that. And I don't see a lot of people getting what they want in 30 days from using that. And that's my big thing. Like if I'm going to manifest even the really big things, like I have got to get results in a reasonable amount of time. And 30 days is a reasonable amount of time for me. Now, obviously for like bigger things like having a baby or doing in vitro or things like that, it takes longer, right? Like you can't just decide you're going to give birth and like, hey, I'm getting pregnant and we're birthing this by the end of the month. I wish it worked like that, but there is still natural law that we have to like work within the realm of. So, you know, if there are things that have to take place like that or have a gestation time, we cannot override that yet, as of yet. Maybe that will change. I don't know. So, but once you think of it like using your DNA to manifest instead of like using the one size fits all for the one size wants all thing, I don't know. It starts to make more sense, I think. I think that's a good way to look at it. It makes more sense. Now, if you want to try to figure this out on your own, by all means, you can do this. You can look back at what you have manifested in the past, and there will be a pattern of feelings and emotions and thoughts and things that you did and inspirations and all of these things that happened. But depending on which power or phase of manifesting, and we're going to get into this in the next class, you were using is going to depend on how much force or energy or effort it takes to manifest that and bring it into your reality. So that's the other thing that isn't being taught, is there are 5 phases to the power of manifesting. And that is going to be on Thursday, right? So this is something that I teach about in the creation code. Many of you reached out. You've asked about the creation code. You've asked about how we can work together. You've asked about how I can help you manifest the things that you want. I've gotten everything from like businesses to jobs to health to cars, and a porch. That was my favorite one. I loved it. A woman's like, I want a porch. And I'm like, you can do that. You can have anything you want. Just get the codes, right? So I'm going to hop off, but I want to answer your questions. I have to go check on my daughter. Thank you for being so understanding, for giving me the space to, I was a bit of a basket case this morning. So if you joined that one, if you watched that one, I'm sorry, I wasn't making sense. This is the first time I've taught this in exactly this way, but not the first time I've taught this content. And my head was a little all over the place. I was up all night with my daughter, so I just really didn't sleep. So I just want to like say a big heartfelt thank you for like accepting that I'm human and not a guru, that I'm just here and I want like, I just want to make an impact and I want to help and I want to share and I want to teach. And, you know, if you were on my earlier live, if we ever find that one again, if it's lost in space for Facebook forever, who knows? But I just want to say thank you. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. But Yeah, I'm gonna hop off because I have to go check on my daughter, and I'm starting to feel a little like I have like a bit of a head thing going on, so I'm gonna take some medicine myself. Um, but I just want to say, like, this works whether you've been manifesting for years and you've had some luck, but not consistently or predictably enough for your liking, or whether you're brand new to manifesting. We all have manifesting codes within us. And it's just whenever you are introduced to this idea is your invitation to step up to a new level of power and truth. And like I said, don't ever take anything I'm saying for face value like the truth. I taught you. I taught you the K3 system. I taught you the knowing system. Use your knowing system for truth, right? Like, this is either really going to resonate with you or you're really going to think I'm freaking crazy. And I am. I am freaking crazy. But that doesn't mean it doesn't resonate with you and it won't get you results. I mean, I'm joking, but like, yeah, I probably am crazy. I'm probably a little out there. But I just wanted to say thank you for being here. And look, we are going to be sending emails. So please check your email. If you're using Gmail, make sure you're getting it out of that promotions folder or the updates folder, moving it over to your main folder. If you're using Yahoo, Hotmail, or any of the other ones, it's probably already landing in your inbox, so you won't miss anything. We're sending out emails for the updates. Come back to the group and check. Tag me in the group. Send me a message. Whatever it is you need. I want to make sure that you are supported and you are understanding this and you have what you need. Okay. If you know somebody that needs this, I would love it if you would make sure it got into their hands. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you.